So Liverpool did rather well yesterday, a 6-3 away victory against Tottenham Hotspur in the Sunday evening clash to put them top of the pile in the Premier League before the Christmas period. But, there was not all happy things to be said during this game. On the pitch, things are going very well for Liverpool indeed. I think they're like 5 points ahead of Chelsea now with a game in hand. They are absolutely flying. There is no question whatsoever that as we head into Boxing Day and eventually the new year in 2025, that Liverpool are the team to beat, not only in the Premier League but also in the Champions League as well, as they top that table with a perfect record of 6 victories from 6 games. But the main problems for Liverpool are off the pitch. Now, I've talked about this before when it comes to the players that are out of contract in the summer. Virgil van Dijk, their stalwart, their colossus at the back in defence, is out of contract. Mohamed Salah, the first man to ever get 10 goals and 10 assists or more, double figures in both of those categories in the Premier League before Christmas, he is out of contract in the summer. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, their talismanic right back, who is one of the best passers of the ball, not only in the Premier League but in world football as well. One of the most incredible players in my opinion. The guy is unbelievably such a talent, it's ridiculous. He too is out of contract in the summer. Now, I've already gone in depth about the situation with this, how it's so bad for Liverpool. The fact that as things stand, as I record this on the 23rd of December, in no less than 9 days' time, from the 1st of January 2025, in theory, all of those 3 players can talk to clubs to join as a free agent on a Bosman in the summer period in 2025, which is unbelievable. That is terrible. And people talk about, all these players, like, if you could keep 2, who would you keep? If you keep 1, who would you keep? Would you keep all 3 if you could? And of course you'd want to keep them all, without a doubt. But I want to talk about Trent. I want to talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold in particular, because he had a very good game, as did most of the Liverpool players, in fairness. I mean, Arnold's assist for the opening goal for Luis Diaz was unbelievable. That ball was millimetrically perfect. He very much reminded me of David Beckham, the former Manchester United winger back in the day, pinging balls in across the field like that was just something else. The guy has the passing range and expertise of the likes of Steven Gerrard, David Beckham, some Zinedine Zidane even, the guy is unbelievable. I rate him that highly, I really do. And he's 26 years of age. He's still got time to improve, still got time to be better. But is he going to leave on a free? Well, regardless of whether you think that's going to be the case or not, I thought the opinion of that Jamie Carragher was sharing, and we had a debate in the Sky Sports studio after the game was on. The 2 Jamies going at it, Redknapp and Carragher. And for once, on a rare occasion, I actually agree with what Jamie Redknapp was saying, and I do not agree with what Jamie Carragher was saying. I don't want to say exactly what I thought of Carragher's remarks because I'll get this demonetized, but basically he was spouting a lot of rubbish in my opinion. He really was. He was basically saying, and I think he was getting quite emotional as well. He'd been was he in the commentary box? I can't remember now, but he was in and around the commentary box probably during this match. He was hyped up, Liverpool just gone top for Christmas, feeling good. And I feel like there was a bit of emotion playing there. He was getting quite touchy during the debate with Redknapp. Redknapp was trying to put a point across, and I think a valid point, basically saying that, Alexander-Arnold has every right that if he wants to leave Liverpool in the summer on a free transfer, he can go do that. Now, of course, Liverpool fans aren't going to like hearing that, right? But I don't think the problem really should be with Alexander-Arnold. I think the problem should be with the club, because the club has allowed 3 star players, arguably the 3 most important players in Liverpool's team, to potentially leave for nothing in the summer. And again, some people might say, oh, well, Salah and Van Dijk, they're over 30. They're on the downward spiral there. They've not got that much longer left in the game. I wholeheartedly disagree with that, but that's irrelevant to the point here. Basically Carragher's whole mantra, his whole hill that he wants to die on, was the fact that, well, Salah and Van Dijk can leave. If they want to go on a free transfer, let them go. Not a problem. They're not local lads. They are international stars. They're international footballers. They have no loyalty towards Liverpool other than just playing for them for the last 5-8 years or however long it's been for both of those guys. Alexander-Arnold, on the other hand, he can't leave. If he leaves, his reputation will be damaged with Liverpool fans. And I sort of see what he's saying, but I wholeheartedly disagree with him on it, because at the end of the day, Alexander-Arnold has won everything with Liverpool. He's won the Premier League, the Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup. He's won everything under the sun with them, and he's probably going to get more trophies this season. I think at an absolute minimum, he's going to get another Premier League in that trophy cabinet as well, another Premier League winners medal to hang on the wall. And just because he's a local lad does not mean that he has to stay, that he has to have this loyalty towards the club. He might well do. He might well think, Liverpool or bust. I'm gone. Sorry, I'm gonna stay here no matter what. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna wait for them to give me a contract offer. But at the same time, he's got to look out for his career. And if a team, because the big rumor is that he's going to go to Real Madrid and replace Vasquez and Carvajal as the right backs at that club, which makes absolute sense. Can you imagine Alexander-Arnold floating balls in to Mbappe, Vinicius Jr.? It's just a scary prospect, that in itself. It really is terrifying for the rest of world football. And those kind of opportunities don't come across very often. He's 26 years of age now. Like I said, he's got a lot of time left in the game for sure, but he's entering his prime years now. And if he wants to go and experience another culture, live in another country, play for one of the biggest clubs in the world, the most successful club in Champions League history, the most successful club in Spanish football history as well, it makes perfect sense. Why would you not want to do that? You'd be one of the star men there. But obviously, he doesn't think that's the case. Carragher clearly feels as though because he's a local lad, he should stay. And if he leaves, he's not going to be a legend of the club. And again, I sort of see what he's saying with that. But again, I disagree, because at the end of the day, this is the club that's done this. It's not Arnold's fault that the club hasn't offered him a suitable deal to keep him there. Clearly, they don't value him right now. Because I'm telling you, I know Salah said that he's not had a contract offer. I think he's had a contract offer looking at it. I feel like they've all had contract offers. All three of those players, Van Dijk, Salah, and Arnold. And I feel like Arnold has probably had an odd offer, but not one that would be, that he thinks is worth, how much he's worth. And how much is Arnold worth? Well, it's an impossible thing to quantify. He's clearly one of the best right backs in the world, if not the best right back in the world. Name me a better one, please. I'm all ears. I'm trying to think of one. I can't. You can't say that someone like Kyle Walker's as good as him. As much as I love Kyle Walker, it's not on that level. There isn't anybody for me. And therefore his value in his own head is sky high. Does he think he's worth 300 grand a week? 400 grand a week? Marcus Rashford is on 300 grand a week. By that logic, Alexander-Arnold should be like on $1 million. Then again, Rashford is not worth that much money. But, just for comparison's sake. So for me, the owners have to splash the cash. They have to try and keep all three of those players. And I've said this before. And if they all leave, or if Arnold leaves in this case for this video that I'm talking about, this opinion I'm giving, that's on the club. That shouldn't be on. And people again will say, oh, but he'll never be on the level of Gerrard. He'll never be on the level of Gerrard. Gerrard showed so much loyalty to the club. Did he though? Did he really? He wants to leave. Didn't he want to go to Chelsea at some point? There was definitely an offer in there and he was thinking about it. So at the end of the day, these temptations are always going to come up, and it's gonna happen. It's going to happen. And I don't think Arnold should be slated for this. And to be fair, Liverpool fans, from what I can tell, aren't slating him. I feel like it's just Carragher getting carried away. But yeah, it just struck me as really disrespectful to Arnold. And again, maybe there's a bit of jealousy in there. Carragher, he said it himself, in fairness. He was never on that level. He was never that good. He was a good, solid, dependable player at the back for Liverpool for well over a decade. But he's not an international superstar. When Rafa Benitez said that, what did he say? He said that, he would have sold Carragher and Gerrard for 200 million. Gerrard for 190 and Carragher for 10. I know he was taking the mick and he was kind of joking around with that, but the figures are not that outlandish. I mean, Carragher would have gone for more than 10, of course, and Gerrard probably wouldn't have quite gone for 190 in those days. He would do now. But yeah, I don't think that Arnold should be slated for it. I don't think Arnold should be held accountable for the club not offering him a deal, for the club not getting any money in for him. That was another thing as well. Carragher was saying that, Salah and Van Dijk, if they go for a free, that's bad business for them. But Arnold come through the youth academy, we should demand that he gets a fee. And it's like, well, no. You should demand you get a fee if you have a right to get a fee for him. And if he leaves on a Bosman, on a free, that's Liverpool Football's club fault. That's the owner's fault. They should be the one blamed. Don't blame Schlott. I'm sure Schlott wants to keep him, do a king's ransom to keep all of them. But Fenway Sports, the people that some Liverpool fans really don't like, despite their recent successes, I can see why. given this. I really can. But guys, let me know your thoughts on this, because it just rubbed me off as the wrong way. I mean, I feel it's like really disrespectful to Arnold, who, yes, of course, he is. If he left Liverpool at the end of the season, he is not going to be on the same level as a Souness, a Dalglish, a Gerrard, a Rush, because he's not been at the club for that long. He's been at the club for, I mean, he's been at the club since he was a boy, but he's not been playing professionally for more than 10 years, you know. So I don't think it's right to say that the guy should be on the level of those guys. Some incredible players for Liverpool have, you know, won things and has successes with the club, but you wouldn't call them, even though they were as talented maybe as some of those, like Suarez, for example. Suarez and Torres, right? On their day, world class, unbelievable. But for Liverpool, would you say that Suarez was better than Rush? Overall, we were talking achievements wise, longevity wise. No, you wouldn't, because he wasn't there for long enough. Same with Torres. You could argue these guys are more talented, and you could argue that Arnold is one of the most talented players in the history of Liverpool, definitely one of the best defenders, one of the most talented, but in terms of his achievements, he is not up with them, and I feel like he's not had the chance to be up there with them. He's won a lot, he's been in sides that have won a lot, but Liverpool haven't been a truly long, like, dominant force in English football since the 70s and the 80s. You know, they've had flashes of brilliance, of course, Champions League wins, you know, stuff like that, but Arnold simply hasn't had the chance to be that long. And at the end of the day, as things stand, Arnold will be out of contract, he'll be out of work in the summer. So why shouldn't he go and try and, you know, force a move to somewhere else, especially if it's Real Madrid? He's not going to no mugs. He's going to arguably the biggest club in the world, from another one of the biggest clubs in the world. You could argue Liverpool are the biggest as well. They're up there on that top of the pantheon, on that Mount Olympus of football. But yeah, your thoughts in the comments below, guys. I've gone on for a long time about this, but it's something I'm passionate about at the end of the day. I don't like when former players do this, you know, and it's unwarranted. I really do think Carragher is so wrong on this on so many levels, and it just comes off as plain rude. But then again, this is a guy, we know what this is a guy who spits out car windows, so what can you expect, really? What can you expect from somebody like that? But those are my thoughts. Great player, not a very good pundit though. Sorry, I said it. But anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments below, guys, and of course, keep it tuned to thefootballchronicle.com for much more content through this Christmas period here on the Premier League and other events on the world of football too. Like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell as well. I'll see you soon, guys. Have a good one.